So continuing like the parts that we have to do right now, we need to transfer it to the cardboard into the aluminum. I have two different ones. I have the 6061, actually that it's the T6 and it's 0.020, and then I have here another one that it's a different material. This one is actually the 2024 T3 Alclad, and I'm not sure that it's going to be good enough. Problem is that when we got this aluminum, it's come with this paper on it that I don't have a clue how to remove. I'm going to have to figure it out. It's making it much heavier, but also it's going to cause other problem along the way. So first I need to cut it. So what I'm going to do, I put it on already. I mark with a pencil where I'm going to cut it, and now I'm going to get this tool, and let's see, because this is going to be kind of a tool that's supposed to cut it all the way side to side without too much effort. Good, it's not making so much noise. So let's move this away. Hopefully the camera will not fall. Let's lift this. Let's see if I can do it with my left hand. See, it's good enough. Yep. Nope, I have to do it with my right hand. Oh yeah, it's starting with like butter. Yeah, I don't want to ruin the piece that's underneath it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put a piece of cardboard underneath, and now I can slide it. I can glide on top of it. Leave it on. This thing sounds like a very angry sewing machine. Okay, so now this is cut. We just have to cut this James Dean curl from there, and we're good to start drawing on it the parts that we're gonna cut. And then meanwhile, I see that this one leaving a little bit of a mark, so I have to be very gentle when I cut with it. That's it for how to cut this. Now let's go from there. So we got, this is a piece of aluminum and it has the paper on it, and now we have the cardboard. I just make sure that this is the right size. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put on it right now carbon paper and start copying it. Okay, so I put my drawing, the one that we make on the parchment paper that we copy from the airplane. It's on top of carbon paper, and I put tape. The tape is hooked up to the aluminum, and here it's hooked up to the aluminum and to the table, so it's not going to move. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to trace it real quick, and after I finish tracing it, it will be actually ready to go like wherever it needs to go on the airplane. Now what we're going to do with this is going to be, this is just the first template to try to see whatever going to fit to the parts where we need it. Now it's supposed to be a little bit thinner. I decided to make this part thicker. I'm not worried about the weight for right now. The reason is because it's going above the gas tank, and it's complete the structure of the top of the airplane and the bottom around the gas tank. So in a case of a crash, I want this thing to be a little bit thicker to be able to absorb more, because also my legs will be underneath it. So I'm taking worst case scenario, if I hit the ground real bad or I hit an obstacles, that I have something that protects the front of the airplane a bit better. Okay, so now we're going to start. So we have the center line. On the center line here, I'm going to mark it. We're marking it, and then later we need to have a hole in it. So we're going to measure it a couple times. So what we're going to do is that later we're going to take a longer ruler and measure corner to corner, corner to corner, in order to find more or less the center where the circle going to be here for the refill for the fuel tank. Let's start. So we have the center. I'm going to do those edges real quick. And don't forget, you have to crisscross everything all the way out. The same here. Now here it's a little bit more curvy, but it's okay. I can straighten it. Now those are complete curves, so I need to do those. And the bottom. When you're copying something, you really want your hand to slide on something, and then you have more straight line. Versus if you try to do it this way, it's never going to be straight. Your hand have to lay down on something. Okay, so we have the general shape, and now we have to go and trace the holes. Now we have to remember what is up and what is down. So this is going to be our front. So I'm going to write here up, and I'm going to mark an arrow so I know that this is going to be the front of my airplane. If not, I may be going to have a problem, so I need to make sure that it's going to be the right place. Now all those we're going to punch with the hole puncher. So I need to make sure that they are the size of the circle of what I do. Now I still need to get a center punch for those, but I'm gonna try to do it without. I think it's gonna be just fine. Now the difference between home built kit and the factory is that this one you're gonna have to cut your own parts, and you have to criticize your own work if it's good or not, and there is million way to do the same exact work. So if you have anything better to do that, this is the better way to do it. Please post it so other people can learn if you think that your way is better. Okay, my hand hurts from doing the circles. And we got in back, and we're gonna do this one again just to make sure. So we did the marking. Now I can see, because this thing is not really a pen, it's just a press. So what I do, I can, if you go with your finger, you can feel where you actually already worked on the metal. So we have all the holes, and now what you're gonna do is gonna try to see what happened. Now I really don't want to damage this drawing, because this is gonna join right now to the set of drawing for my airplane, for a specific airplane. Let's try this nicely. And if I will bake cookies, I can use it on the pan. But we're gonna make the cookies later. Now, let's take this thing out. Okay, so we got here, oops, where is electric static when you need it? So we got here our drawing. It's actually, the lines are crystal clear, and yes, here it's dirty. It's a paper that we're gonna peel off. So what we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna run a couple test cuts over here. So what I'm gonna do to see like how it's gonna cut, before I'm gonna risk it, I'm gonna take a marker and mark a couple line here, and I'm gonna see what will happen when I try to trace those lines where I need to be in order to get the edge that I want. So I'm gonna do those testing, and then I'm gonna start cutting that. Okay, so I did off-camera testing with the metal shear, and it's cut super accurate, but there is a trick. Let's see if the camera can see it really well. Okay, there is left and right jaws, and then there is the scissor. As long as you keep your line and those on this part of the jar, if you want to cut, and you leave the left side clean or the right side clean. So now we want to cut and leave this is going to be our cut line and stay now. This is our drawing. We're doing it away. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. So you have to gently set it up to where you want it. It's better if you start not from the edge of a drawing, so I'm going to have your intersection so it's perfect, and then you hold it in the other direction and you start very slow, and it's cutting like a very accurate scissor. Okay, and then you can go faster. Now I'm gonna move this above the James Dean curls. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna curl it sideways just to get out. Okay, so what I want to show is here. This is the line that I marked. I deviate from it almost nothing, something that I can sand by hand, and it's not sharp at all. Like I can move my hand on it and it's not sharp. I can later take sandpaper and round the edge a little bit and it will be perfect. This is how I'm going to cut it. You can take it on your bandsaw and cut it, and it's probably will be much faster to do. I'm just doing this right now because I'm just experimenting with how to make new parts. So now I'm gonna cut this. Hopefully it's gonna go good. I'm gonna try to stay a little bit away from this line, so at the end of the cut I should still have this line on site. Now be careful on your fingers so it's not going to get inside, and you really should do that with gloves on. And you're going to cut it all the way out. Okay, and look, so you can see my line here stay there pretty nice. And now I'm gonna do the other side. Ta-da! Okay, so here I'm a little bit far, so I'm just gonna random cut until I get into where I need it. Okay, when I get close, just gonna grab it and adjust it a little bit. You can control the speed, so go slow, don't go fast. It's not a race. Okay, and this cut was also really nice. You can keep those to make wind chime out of them, just by the way, they're really nice. Okay, so again, this line end up pretty much perfect. It's like, I would say that it's like maybe like 1,000 of the line, so it's perfect. It's actually 1 millimeter, forget about thousands. Okay, now this will be a little bit more complicated because this is not a straight line, it's kind of concave. So I'm gonna start running this, and let's see how this is gonna go. Okay, move here. Aha. Okay, so it's pretty good. It got stuck here a little bit on the paper, but it's not a big deal. And then here there's a sharp line also, but again, those I can send later. Now we have to cut. This is the last line. Now the edges here, they're smooth, but some of them I have like some rough edges, so you have to be careful when you pull it. Again, please use gloves. I have 3X very rough hands, so I don't have to worry about it, but some of you guys probably will need to put gloves. I got stuck on something? I did on this. Okay, so here I ran away a little bit sideways, and I think I can fix it. I can probably sand it down, or try to do the stupid thing and try to trim it. Yeah, it will be easier just to sand it down. But so far, this is what we got. Now, I do need to go and get my hole punch and make those holes. Let's see if this is gonna work. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna use this device, and I put in it like the 1/8 hole punch, and this is really cool because you don't need to drill it. It's actually gonna pop it up like this as a small piece of metal, and you don't have to deburr it. It's actually gonna take it pretty clean. Now I'm gonna show something real quick. So I did those holes, and then I have where the marking is. Now the problem is that if you use glasses for reading, use your glasses, because you have to see exactly where the tip gonna land on, and you have to adjust it to exactly where the center is, and then you punch it, open it up, and look at the hole. Now this is the Avex 1/8 rivets, fit right into it. Okay, so this is perfect. And then also the screws will go through it, but you have to actually thread them in. Okay, but it's perfect. It's literally making a thread out of it, so it's really cool. Now I'm not gonna show how I'm kind of making hole the entire thing. I'm just gonna make a couple for the videos, and I'm gonna continue outside. You have to find exactly the center, and it will be easier if someone helping you lift it to an area that you can see, and then press the punch. Let's start with the first one that is in the odd space over here. And it's pretty good because I said that most of the hole disappeared, and then later if I need to make it bigger, I can just take like the drill and cut it. Now it does have here this limit. I forgot to move it, and it's kind of blocking my way. So this is just like marking how far and how deep, if you want to keep a uniform distance. But right now we don't care about the uniform distance, because those holes fit on holes that there is on the existing parts that we already did on the airplane. And it's literally cutting it in a fraction of a second. This is pretty cool. Okay, so I will finish the rest of them, and then I'm gonna show you guys the final result. So we made all the holes. All the holes are exactly where they need to be. It took probably about less than 10 minutes for 2 people. We put it on a kind of a taller chair, about that high, and we're just pointing center and cutting it. I'm sure I'm going to need to adjust some of them because it's already going to something exist. Now here is the problem that we're going to deal with now, is to remove this. Let's see if we're going to be lucky. You feel lucky, punk? No? Okay, so this, okay, there's another way to do it better, is to actually roll it. So it is getting removed, and I'm just gonna need to clean the aluminum really good. And that's it. I'm not gonna bore you with removing the tape all the way out. So what left for me is to go and actually try it on the airplane. It's probably 10 o'clock at night right now because we're in California and it's hot, so I'm probably gonna do it later. So anyway, thank you for watching so far, and later we're gonna show you how it's going. Now, by the way, so this center line, this line is going to disappear right now when we remove the paper, but because it's a center hole and a center hole, all I need to do is take a ruler and measure where I want and make the circle. So it's very easy, we're not losing this information. Thank you, and this is how you make this part. Later you're gonna see how it's look on the airplane. Okay, so we removed the paper. So the piece is kind of ready. Now we just need to sand it down a little bit. I'm gonna do it by hand, and then make the center line and find where the hole is gonna be, and that's it. This piece is ready to form to whatever I need it. That's it. You just need to get cleaned. It was having paper on it, so the paper left a lot of ugly marking that I need to figure out how to get rid of. That's it. Next page on the airplane.